High school sports, where the student athletes of today are forged into men and women of tomorrow. Join our Chippewa Valley Big Reds and Dakota Cougars on their journey towards building their skills and identities, learning to endure through struggles and setbacks, discovering the camaraderie of working together as a team, and feeling the unparalleled rush of achieving greatness on the field. Welcome to CVC TV Sports.
Welcome inside Dakota High School, home of the Dakota Cougars for tonight's Detroit Public School League Macomb Area Conference crossover matchup between the Cass Tech Technicians and our Dakota Cougars. We start out our coverage tonight with the Cass Tech Technicians, who come into play tonight with a perfect 7-0 record. To say they have been dominating this season would be a bit of an understatement. The Technicians averaging 70 points per ball game while giving up just 47 on the defensive end. The D-Zone has the Cass Tech Technicians ranked as the 16th best team in the state of Michigan, and Cass Tech is coming off a season a year ago that saw them go 28-1 and win a state championship 78-63 over Muskegon. As for our Dakota Cougars, they come into play tonight with a 5-4 record. Dakota had a win streak of 5 games snapped by Ann Arbor Pioneer over in a Ferndale basketball tournament. 14-point loss at the hands of Ferndale. And then in the most recent game against the Roseville Panthers, the Dakota Cougars dropped that game by 5 points. So Dakota 5 wins, 4 losses on the season, playing tonight here in front of their home crowd. They're sporting their home white jerseys, the Cass Tech Technicians in their road greens. It should be one heck of a ball game here tonight in the Dakota Gymnasium. One player to really pay attention to tonight for Cass Tech is Derek Miller. He'll wear number 3 in green. He has been fantastic all season long. He had 27 points in their win over Holt, 23 in their win over Chelsea, and 18 in a win over Birmingham Groves. The Dakota Cougars win the opening tap, and it'll be Matt Wooters to control, running the point for the Dakota Cougars. Up ahead quickly, and right on cue, it's Derek Miller with the lay-in. See how fast and athletic this Technician offense is. Wooters trailing 3 on its way, wide, no good. Starting 5 for the Cougars tonight is that 15-footers, no good. Battle for the loose ball, last touch by Dakota. It'll be Matt Wooters, Matthew Bomarito, Trent Moore, and Dakoven Thomas, and Jason Barra. Couple senior captains in Bomarito and Wooters tapped around, and finally out to the Cougars. Going for the steal, coming up empty, a little 2-on-1. Wooters takes it all the way in. The follow-up miss is missed as well. Now we'll have a tie-up and just a rip-through there by Amari Johnson. Big number 25 for the Technicians. Three-pointer on the way by Stevie Hall, no good. Offensive rebound controlled by Cass Tech. Officials allowing some physical play to go uncalled. Wooters a skip pass, trying to dump it inside. Bomarito will take it out to the perimeter in front of the Technician bench. Goes over to Wooters now. Little ball fake, cross-court pass, caught with some momentum. Bomarito rims out. Hall quickly into the front court, slows things down, waits for some trailing teammates. Over to Miller now, he'll slow things down. Miller draws the assignment of Bomarito. Bomarito has the clear height advantage over Derek Miller. Dribble handoff to Lee Harris. Corey Sadler drives the lane, tried to kick it over to Lee Harris. It was tipped out by the Dakota defense and controlled now by the Cougars. Matt Wooters, crossover dribble, bounce pass over to Bomarito, who skies and hits from distance. First lead of the ball game for the Cougars, 3-2. Brad Fetters for Chippewa Valley Cable Television, flying solo tonight. Certainly missed Jeff Vitale. Prior commitment, he's coaching an 8th grade basketball game at the moment. Wish him good luck tonight. Technicians looking for an answer from distance. No good. Corey Sadler gets his own rebound. Good defense along the perimeter by the Cougars. Bold shooting start so far by Cass Tech. And a Matt Wooters trap and steal. Thomas quickly up ahead to Bomarito, catches, slings up a shot. Trent Morin with the offensive rebound and put back. And Dakota up 5-2. 3 minutes gone by, opening quarter of play. Lee Harris scans the defense, goes over to Miller on this near side, trying to drive inside the paint. Amari Johnson dribbled it off himself and out of bounds. Matthew Collins checking in will replace Amari Johnson. Lone substitute for either team, and that stoppage in play. Cass Tech applying a little bit of full court pressure. Here comes the trap now. Bomarito passes out of it, finds Wooters, absorbs a little bit of contact, forced to pick up his dribble. Thomas drives, pulls up, skies, can't hit, misses short. Battle along the glass there is won by the Technicians. Corey Sadler over to Collins, freshly into this basketball game, goes back now to Derek Miller. Over to Collins, they rip it around the perimeter, ball fake, launching from distance off the back heel. Wooters skies up, comes down with the rebound. Skip pass up ahead, skying up and one. Trent Morin looking to finish off the old-fashioned three-point play. Have to like the energy level out of the Dakota Cougars here in the early goings. They have taken advantage of a slow start offensively for Cass Tech, getting out in transition there. Good heads-up play, feeding Trent Morin on the right wing as he misses the freebie. 7-2, Dakota out in front. Bomarito. There's the screen. Derek Miller amongst the trees inside, gets a kind shooter's touch. So Miller right now with all 4 of Cass Tech's points and a steal and an easy bucket there for Miller. And those are the things that the Cougars cannot afford here tonight. So glad you decided to tune us in this evening. Special 5:30 start. Get you prepared for tonight's national championship game between the University of Michigan and Washington. This will be your appetizer before the main course. Corey Sadler's floater no good, falls short. Thomas trapped before the timeline, readjusts, gets it over to Bomarito. This is a Technician defense. It's not afraid to trap. Wooters from the parking lot. Can't hit. Now a tie-up. And what do we got? Jump ball, possession arrow favoring Cass Tech. 2:59 remaining in the first quarter, 9-6 our score. And very first Dakota foul will be called on Matt Wooters. He will come out of the basketball game and will be replaced by his twin Mike Wooters. Both Wooters brothers, senior captains for head coach Paul Tocco. Cowens between the circles, gets it right back on the give and go. Hoists up a three, no good. Trent Morin elevating to snatch that rebound out of thin air. Bomarito holds the basketball on his hip, now goes over to Tobin Williams. Williams into the corner for Wooters. Wooters brings it all the way back out. Tobin Williams goes all the way back to the half-court line to retrieve it, and now tosses it out of bounds. Costly turnover there for Dakota. Miller, all 6 of Cass Tech's points. It's been as good as advertised. Cowens comes in and has done nothing but shoot 3-pointers. He's yet to cash in on one of his 3-point attempts. Tobin Williams going to slow things down. Chest pass over to Mike Wooters. Dumps it down low to Morin. Has the ball stripped out of his hands. Out in transition, technicians with numbers. Oh, what a block shot by Matthew Bomarito. As he gets a hand slap from the student section, and why not? Bomarito tracking down the layup attempt and blocking the shot. Get another look at it here. Oh, baby. Matthew Cowens went up with the lay-in attempt, had it swatted into the stands. Another block shot there by Dakota. As this big number 20 Justin Bell freshly into the ball game with the block shot. So all of a sudden the Cougars flexing their muscles on the defensive end. They've held this high-powered technician offense to just 6 points as we approach 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. Wow. To kind of put things in perspective as we get a timeout on the floor, Cass Tech going to want to talk things over. Cass Tech has already scored 82 points in a ball game twice this season. They scored 82 in a 4-point victory over Detroit Western, as well as a 62-point win over Denby. Their lowest offensive production this season was 58 in a win over Holt and 58 in a win over Chelsea. So 58, their lowest offensive output this season. Dakota averages just 55 points per game. So Cass Tech really filling it up this season, and credit this Cougar defense right now. They have brought the energy and have done everything well so far in this ball game. 9-6 our score, 1:21 left to go in the first quarter of play. Braden Swanson to trigger from in front of his home bench. Finds Tobin Williams. Williams being harassed in the backcourt by Donovan Edens. Darian Smith-Gervin into the game as well. Into the corner for Williams. 3 on its way. It is good. Ring it up for the young sophomore. And now a technician turnover. Dream start to this game for Dakota. Full court pressure once again being applied by Cass Tech. Nearly leads to a steal. The official right there says Dakota basketball. 4 different Dakota players with points here in this opening frame. Tough pass into the backcourt for Mike Wooters, who caught it along the baseline. Being guarded by Jalen Howell. So Cass Tech and head coach Stephen Hall working some different rotations in. Justin Bell already has a block shot on the defensive end, looking to get going offensively. Tried to feed Braden Lee on the low post, tapped out of bounds. We need a basketball as Justin Bell is going to go and retrieve it. Cass Tech using that pause in the action to bring Derek Miller back into the ball game. Braden Lee catches. Over to Tobin Williams. Approaching a half a minute left to go in the first half. That is not a backcourt violation. Tapped out by the defender. And this will be a backcourt violation. Coach Toko throws his hands up in disgust. Half the value of the basketball in games like this. Stevie Hall back into the game for Cass Tech. Take the spot on the floor, Jalen Howell. Corey Sadler with the basketball. Dribble handoff. Three-pointer on its way off the rim. Kept alive by Dakota. And a foul in the backcourt. They'll go against Derek Miller. Just the second team foul. But that is, however, Derek Miller's second personal. So that'll be something to pay attention to. And Coach Stephen Hall is going to spot that and is actually going to take Derek Miller out of the ball game with those two personal fouls. As they know they cannot afford to have him pick up his third here on the defensive end. With just 2 seconds remaining in the corner. Getting the shot off, good if it goes. Oh, Braden Lee nearly beat the buzzer, but the shot falls off. Terrific start to this game by the Dakota Cougars. They lead it 12-6. We'll keep it right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television and let you know that everyone in sports is in search of the elusive perfect game, making every shot, completing every pass, striking everyone out, getting each call right. That's right. Game officials enjoy the competition and seek perfection just like the players do. Still have that competitive streak and want to help kids by giving back? Maybe becoming a high school official is for you. Register, log on to MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Mentioned Dakota with 4 players scoring. Trent Morin leads all scorers for Dakota with 4. Tobin Williams and Bomarito poured in 3-pointers. And Matt Wooters added in a deuce. Cass Tech needs someone besides Derek Miller to score. He has all 6 of their first quarter points. They have had numerous chances and really turned into a jump shooting team. Credit to Dakota defense. And so far, a bit of a cold start for Cass Tech. We'll see if they can settle down and get going offensively. Corey Sadler going to run the point now. Derek Miller back on the floor with those 2 personal fouls. Stevie Hall, Lee Harris, and Donovan Edens, the 5 on the floor for Cass Tech. Corey Sadler drives in, has his shot blocked. There's Miller once again from distance, pure. Boy, oh boy, is Derek Miller good. Dakota is going to have to account for him every single trip down. Tobin Williams able to beat the full court pressure. Spins through the lane, somehow keeps the dribble. 3 on its way by Bell, no good. And Cass Tech comes away with it. Stevie Hall quickly up ahead. Hard foul applied by Mike Wooters. And Stevie Hall will go to the line to shoot a couple. Wholesale changes coming into the game now for Dakota. Trent Morin, Bomarito, and Jason Barra getting ready to check back in for Dakota. Stevie Hall's first shot. Ooh, kind roll. That hit every inch of the iron before falling. Take another look here at this hard foul. Mike Wooters clearly going for the basketball. Prevented any sort of easy attempt there by Stevie Hall. And forced Hall to earn them here at the free throw line. It's a split for Stevie Hall, and then a takeaway. So Hall gets the deuce, and just like that, 12-12 our score. 6 quick ones for Cass Tech, including the triple by Derek Miller. Now a three-point play by Stevie Hall. One at the line and then a miss. Now a follow-up make. Things can change rapidly. As we know, basketball is a game of runs. Matthew Bomarito had his jersey held there. 15-footer coming up for Braden Lee, knocks it down. Lee becomes the 5th Cougar now to score. And that's the thing with Dakota. They got lots of depth. A lot of guys can contribute. We know that. Jason Barr, one of the starters yet to score in this basketball game. Crazy shot by Mike Wooters, trying to draw the foul call, doesn't get it. Sadler out in transition. He hits the deck, no call. Now a takeaway. Boy, oh boy, the officials letting everything go tonight. 3-on-1 if the Cougars hurry. Trying to feed it inside to Barr. Quickly outside down to Bomarito. Had it tapped out of his hands and out of bounds. It'll stay with Dakota. Matt Wooters, the point guard, checking back in. Long rest for him. Matthew Collins into the game now for Cass Tech. Coven Thomas into the game as well. So all 5 of the starters back in for Coach Toko. Tough catch there on the inbound pass from Morin. It was made more difficult by the fact that he was fouled. You're going to get Amari Johnson there for the foul call. Three-point attempt by Jason Barrow falls short. Corey Sadler straight down the middle, took it rim to rim, came up empty. 3 on its way, no good. Jason Barrow. Bomarito looks up the floor, gets it over the timeline, being guarded by Collins. Thomas changes direction. Swinging into the corner for Bomarito, thought he was fouled, doesn't get the call. Ball bounces around in the paint and is finally controlled and corralled there by the technicians. Drawing contact, skipping through the lane. And technicians keep the possession alive, still can't cash in. Fed inside for Bomarito, cashes it in. What a dime by Matt Wooters. That was a tough series of event there for the technicians. Couldn't get anything on the offensive end and then gave up a lay-in. Collins. Air ball attempt. Bomarito catches, drives baseline, pull-up jumper, no good. Rims off to Corey Sadler. Up ahead, laid up. Oh! Trent Morin skying to block the shot. And now an intercept by Stevie Hall. Skips it ahead. Bomarito steps in front of that pass and intercepts it. A frantic pace to this basketball game. Morin skies, draws contact. Can't get it to fall, but will shoot 2. Boy, oh boy. Highly entertaining. You have 3 Cougars bent over at the waist. The pace of this basketball game is fast and furious. Morin bent over. Bomarito trying to catch his breath. Matt Wooters was down on the floor. Barra's first is good. Credit these officials. They have let the student athletes play this evening, as we'll get another look at that hard foul on Amari Johnson that prevented Jason Barra from driving baseline. Barra rattles in the second. 18-12, Cougars in front. Sadler gets the screen. And that one falls. Matthew Collins was due. He has been attempting 3 after 3 and finally sees one fall. Looking for the answer, Wooters off the back heel. Corey Sadler had the rebound momentarily. Now it's a fight for it on the floor. Bodies crashing, arms and hands every which way. And alternating possession arrow favors the Cougars. Corey Sadler, Technicians 0. If that name sounds familiar, well, it should. He's an absolutely terrific football player, plays some wide receiver, cornerback, even some quarterback for the Technicians. And the list of offers he has to play football next season, well, not next season because he's only a sophomore, but in the future is long. I'm talking about Michigan State has offers from Deion Sanders in Colorado, as well as LSU. So 2 more years of high school football before taking his talents to the next level. Who knows where he's going to end up, but he's going to have his pick of schools, to say the least. Corey Sadler, definitely a player to pay attention to in the future if you're a fan of high school sports in the state of Michigan. Sadler drives, hangs, can't hit, gets his own rebound. Pirouettes in the lane, gets the ball away to go. Whoa! Trent Morin around a defender, now has his shot blocked. Wooters draws a double team. Passes out of it, now numbers for the Technicians, a 3-on-1. Bomarito stood his ground, comes away with the steal, quickly up ahead to Trent Morin. And it'll be Dakota with the timeout. Lead back up to 3, 2017, 2:58 left to go in the first half. Technicians have outscored Dakota 11-8 as we get another look at the Trent Morin play. Trent with 6 points here in the first half for Dakota, leads all Cougars in scoring. Sadler walking it up the floor. Lee Harris catches. Fans thought it was a clean block. At the very least, a tie-up. Instead, they'll get Jason Barra for the foul call. And it'll send Lee Harris to the free throw line. First falls.
Checking in for the Technicians, number 5, Jalen Howell, and number 13, Malik Crowley.
Second is good as well. So no Bomarito, no Trent Morin on the floor right now for Coach Paul Toko. A bit more of an inexperienced lineup on the floor right now, and a little nickel and dimer called against Donovan Edens. Coven Thomas, Jason Barra, Braden Swanson, nope, check that, Tobin Williams, Matt Wooters, and Braden Lee. And now it'll be Donovan Edwards picking up his second straight personal foul. So Edens and Derek Miller both with 2 fouls. Get another look at this foul call. Terrific feed inside. Foul across the chest. So an empty trip to the line for Barra. And the lead remains 1. 2019 our score. Sadler wrap around pass, in and out, the miss by Stevie Hall. Wooters quickly ahead to Tobin Williams. Oh, he somehow made it. I don't know how. The sophomore with the little circus shot. That's Derek Miller. Tovin Williams gonna try it again. Why not? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Using the bank to his advantage there. Off the glass and down. Back-to-back buckets for Williams gives him now 7 points in the game, and it's going to be another turnover as the Cougars come away with another steal. Thomas, this place would have gone nuts if that would have fallen. Instead it's Miller with the rebound. Over to Sadler. He's going to try to drive. No look passes to Hall. And we're going to have a foul on the floor. Colvin Thomas. Guilty party. Third team foul in this quarter for the Cougars. Cass Tech has 4. So free throws the rest of the way here for the Cougars. And free throws coming up here for Lee Harris as he was fouled in the act of shooting.
Foul to number 10, Trent Lawrence, first. Team court. The line shooting for the Technicians.
Stephen Hall, head coach of Cass Tech. Very liberal in his substitutions. He is keeping everybody fresh. Both teams have done a nice job of bringing in reserves throughout this ball game. Jalen Howell, Malik Crumby into the game. So we'll get a couple looks here at these Tovin Williams. It's absolute crazy shots that he was able to get to fall. Harris now 3 of 4 from the charity line. Still a 2-possession ball game, 24-20, minute 14 left to go in the first half. And it's a bad turnover there by the Cougars. Tovin Williams unable to catch that ball cleanly and dribbled it off the back heel and out of bounds. Stevie Hall, Derek Miller, a couple of the technicians into the ball game along with Matthew Collins. Join Sadler and Aaron Graves on the floor. Comes the screen. Sadler works around it, floats up a shot, no good. Graves unable to come away with the rebound. Bomarito over to Williams, quickly up ahead to Lee, slams on the brakes, fires up a 3, no good. Tapped around, but controlled by Sadler. Sadler outlets it ahead to Hall. Over to Collins in the corner for 3, no good. Hasn't found his touch quite yet. Sadler comes away with the offensive rebound. He'll slow things down with 38 seconds remaining in the first half. Goes back to Stevie Hall, who looks over at Stephen Hall for the play call. See if Cass Tech just wants to hold here for one final shot. 25 seconds left to go. Cougar bench urging their teammates to play some defense. Sadler being guarded by Thomas. Sadler looks up at the big board. 5 seconds to go. Now begins to explore the lane. Fall away jumpers no good, but he will shoot 2 free throws. Coach Toko thought the defender was straight up. That was Thomas. And drew contact there. Sadler fouled on the arm while in the act of shooting. Sadler's first 2 free throw attempts of the ball game. You be the judge here, boy, oh boy. I don't know if I saw contact by Thomas. Official A little bit of a better vantage point than us. And Wooters, that'll count if it goes. Good first half of play. It's the home team. Our Dakota Cougars out in front of the Cass Tech Technicians 24-21. We'll take a quick break here on CVC TV. 10 minutes, in fact. When we come back, it'll be the start of the second half of play. Don't go anywhere.
See horrible diet and nutrition, it just equates into failure. If I eat crappy foods all the time, I can just get used to having some energy from eating crappy foods. But do I really know what it feels like to be totally rested? If you stop using alcohol, you stop using nicotine, you stop using caffeine. Initially, the first couple days, you're not going to notice a lot of difference. After about 2 weeks, you start to feel different. And all of a sudden, you just, oh my God, I have boundless energy. I don't feel like I'm tiring out. I don't feel like I'm exhausted. I don't feel like I'm dragging during the day.
Welcome back to Dakota High School. Great first half of play. This is the Dakota Cougars in front of the Cass Tech Technicians, 24-21. Cass Tech did outscore Dakota in the second quarter 15-12, but still find themselves trailing by 3.
Welcome back to the second half of boys varsity basketball.
6 different Cougars factoring into the scoring, led by Tobin Williams, 7 points. 5 points from Matthew Bomarito, and some terrific defense by him as well. Trent Moore and the big inside presence for Dakota had 6, and some big block shots. Derek Miller, 9 points for Cass Tech. They were finally able to get some secondary scoring in that second quarter, as we get a foul call quickly here to open up the third quarter of play.
Foul to number 5, Matthew Bomarito, that's his first. Team first. The line shooting for the second.
Talked about Miller with those 9 points. Sadler, Hall, Collins, and Harris all with 3. And there's a little bit of confusion. The officials, got one official saying it was a shooting foul, the other official saying it was on the floor. Official on the baseline winning that. Now we'll call another foul. And this time, Lee Harris will go to the line to shoot 2.
Foul number 10, Trent Moore. That's his second.
Morin's second personal foul. See how long Coach Toko decides to stick with Trent Morin with those 2 personals. No indication of taking him out. Harris now 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Make it 5 of 6. All 5 of his points tonight have come at the charity line. Cougars lead down to just 1, 24-23. Matt Wooters, spin move into the lane, drop pass, and Trent Moore will go to the line.
Foul number 15, Lee Harris, that's his first.
Going to get Lee Harris for the personal foul.
At the line, team for the Cougars, number 10, Trent Moore.
Trent Moore, 0 for 1 from the Lions. We'll get another look here at the foul call. Here, stroke at the line for Morin. He has now caught Williams for the team lead in scoring with 7. Rattles out, split at the line for Morin. And we're going to get a tie-up. Possession arrow favors the Cougars. Sadler drove hard to the rim. Once again, it's that tough-nosed defense for the Cougars that come away with the tie-up. Jump ball gives them possession. And full court press. Boy, oh boy, Cougars got to get it over the timeline. Wooters with the cross-court pass out of the reach of Thomas. Cougars have had their fair share of turnovers. Both teams have. Edens. Back over to Derek Miller. Hands off to Corey Sadler. Sadler, just 3 points. Both of them scored in the second quarter. Gets a screen there from Harris. Bounce pass inside to no one in particular, and it was an easy intercept for Jason Barra. This time, Wooters able to walk over the timeline. Goes over to his left side, twists, turns, now backtracks. Bounce pass over to Thomas. Feeds Morin on the inside, draws a double team, that leads Jason Barra wide open for the easy lay-in. That's exactly how you draw it up. Miller drives baseline, contorts his body, doesn't get the foul call. Thomas over the Cougar logo at the half-court stripe. Feeds it down low to Morin, goes up strong, tries a little hook shot with the right hand. A little run here for the Cougars, opens the lead back up to 6. Another tie up, no, they're gonna call a foul. Matt Wooters trying to plead the Cougar case. Foul will go against Barra. Stevie Hall and Jalen Howell back into the game for Cass Tech. Bomarito went after that inbound pass. Hall into the corner for Miller. His 3 is knocked home. You just knew Miller was going to start to heat up. 12 points now for that young man. Look out, Wooters. Head to Barra. Bomarito drives, kicks it back out to Wooters. Thought about the triple try. Instead goes back to Bomarito, who hoists and hits. Oh, yes, sir. Senior captain Matthew Bomarito from distance gives him 8. Miller looking for the answer right back, misses off the back iron. Up ahead, Barra slams on the brakes, finds a trailing teammate in the form of Trent Morin. Wooters goes up and under, no good. Sadler out transition 3-on-1. Sadler gets it right back, kind of leapfrogs his way through the paint, no call. And last touch to Coben Thomas. Under 5 minutes remaining, third quarter of play, 32-26, Cougars in front of the Technicians. So glad you decided to tune us in tonight here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Brad Fetters with the call of tonight's action. Cass Tech comes into play tonight, a perfect 7-0, averaging 70 points per game. The Dakota Cougars playing on their home floor, 5-4, looking to jumpstart their season. A win here tonight could really help them as they get into the main grind now of their MAC Red schedule. Wooters cross-court pass, finds Morin, waiting for it. Driving baseline, floaters, good by Thomas. Dakota starting to knock down their shots. Sadler catches one-handed, holds a basketball over his head, goes over to Derek Miller, looks over at his head coach, goes back to Corey Sadler, gets the high ball screen, lost the basketball, had to get it back, go up with the shot, and Morin once again with the block. So we mentioned Cass Tech goes 28-1 a season ago. Their win 78-63 over Muskegon in the state title game. Their only loss of the year was a 66-65 loss in overtime to Brother Rice. So 1 point loss in overtime prevented the perfect season as Derek Miller can't hit from distance. But Sadler can from the lane. And Cass Tech will call timeout. So we mentioned big game coming up tonight. University of Michigan taking on Washington for the national championship. And Cass Tech pretty notorious for sending some of their best football players to the University of Michigan. Obviously, you got to think about Donovan Peoples-Jones. As we'll get another look at the putback by Corey Sadler. Just one player on this year's roster for the University of Michigan came from Cass Tech. That's Raheem Anderson, the junior offensive lineman. Got some snaps this season as the backup center for the Michigan football team. Raheem Anderson was a 3-year captain of the Cass Tech football team. So Cass Tech, a notorious pipeline for the University of Michigan. Wish them good luck tonight in their quest for a national championship. Dakota will look to break this full court pressure. Mike Wooters spins out a couple times. 6-point lead will just gladly take some of this clock kill. And Trent Morin has the ball knocked off of him and out of bounds.
Check in for the Technicians, number 1, Stevie Hall.
Sadler directing traffic. Goes over to Derek Miller, gets it right back. Sadler drives through the lane, through the hands of Hall, and out of bounds. Malik Crumby into the game. Cass Tech. Bomarito left wide open, catch and shoot, hit the side of the backboard. Might have rushed it just a bit. Miller kind of trapped right in front of his visitor's bench, able to pass out of it. Crumby has it, swinging around the perimeter. Feed inside into a double team. Harris muscles it up and can't connect. Wooters over to Williams. Williams across the timeline. His back to the basket. He begins to explore. Kicks it back out to Bomarito, and the Cougars will slow things down. Thomas getting ready to check back in for Dakota. Some movement now by the offense. Tried some backdoor cuts, nothing available to them offensively. Bomarito pushes off with the free hand. Backtracks nearly to the half-court line. Tobin Williams holds the ball high above his head. Crumby supplying the defense there. Morin now begins to make his move. Defers back to Williams. Williams tries to turn the corner. Floats up a shot, no good. Howell back out to Miller. Cass Tech, both offenses right now being very patient. Miller's shot falls wide. Sadler with the offensive rebound. Fall away, no good. Teams suddenly look a little tired, and we'll get a timeout called by Coach Toko, keeping that possession alive. Be a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout.
Cougars have outscored the Technicians here in this third quarter 10-7. They have expanded their lead up to 6 points. So looking ahead to Dakota's upcoming schedule, they'll be home on Wednesday to take on Grosse Pointe South before going on the road Friday night against L'Anse Creuse North. So 3 games this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Dakota. And then the all-important game on January 16th against Chippewa Valley. That game will be played at the home of the Big Reds.
Checking for the Technicians, number 2, Matthew Howell.
So a turnover on the travel call against the Cougars. Guarantee you that's not what Coach Toko drew up in that last time out. Jab step by Miller, now a turnover. Wooters out in transition, had his shot altered by Corey Sadler. The official right there going to say a foul, as it will put Mike Wooters
Falls on 0, Corey Sadler.
on the line to shoot a couple.
Team second. Goal line to shoot 2, number 2, Mike Wooters.
Mike Wooters' first points of the night.
Checking for Cougars, number 1, Matt Wooters.
I think that was an instance there where he sort of had body position. Sadler coming in from behind. Officials giving Mike Wooters the benefit of the doubt. Wooters connects on both, lead up to 8, largest of the night for the home team, the Dakota Cougars. Cass Tech really needing some instant offense now. They have been held to 7 points in this third quarter. Derek Miller 3, a 2-pointer by Corey Sadler, and a couple free throws by Harris. That has been it. Wooters pull-up jumper is good. Splashes home. Nothing but nylon. What a performance tonight by Dakota. double-digit lead. Sadler splits a couple defenders, gets the kind roll. Gives him 7 in the ball game. Hovind Thomas being harassed in the backcourt. Dribbles himself into a double team, dribbles himself into a turnover, as is Donovan Edmonds. That's 4 quick ones for the Technicians, pulls them within 6. Turnovers have been the story for both teams this evening as we get a kick ball against Derek Miller.
Checking for the Technicians, number 5, Jalen Howell. Also number 20, Aaron Graves.
So Graves and Howell, 2 fresh Technicians into the game, and now a late substitution as they will also bring in Darian Smith-Gervin.
Number 11, Darian Smith-Gervin.
So you could maybe perhaps pick up Coach Toko, and if you couldn't, I'll let you know. He said 1 shot. So Dakota wants to hold here for the final shot of the 3rd quarter. 10 seconds left to go. Matt Wooters nearly had his pocket picked. Shovels the pass over to Mike Wooters. Tiptoes the sideline. And now we got foul call. Cass Tech had a handful to give, so no harm, no foul. It is Sadler's 2nd personal. 2.6 seconds rather left to go here in the 3rd. So Dakota's going to have to catch and pretty much shoot. And they're going to move the inbound pass a little closer to the half-court line. It'll be Mike Wooters to inbound. Mike Wooters having a hard time getting this pass in. They do get it in. Buzzer beater doesn't fall. And that will do it. 3 quarters in the books. Cougars built a double-digit lead. We'll watch the Technicians storm back a bit, but it's the Cougars that are still in front, 38-32. This has been a outstanding basketball game here on a Monday night. So glad you decided to tune us in on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Nice job by our entire cable crew tonight to bring you the sights and sounds from Dakota High School. Keep up with everything MHSAA on social media. Look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for tournament updates, event announcements, video highlights, high school sports news from around the state. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every day. So there's confusion regarding the alternate arrow and whose possession it should be, and appears we have decided it will be Cass Tech's ball. Dakota ends up outscoring Cass Tech 14-11 in the 3rd quarter. 38-32, Cougars in front. Corey Sadler tries the right-hand side. Pocket pass. Whoa! Harris, the sweet roll. Matt Wooters immediately draws a double team. Over to Mike Wooters. Ooh, dangerous pass there with his back to the timeline. Mike Wooters on the cut. Morin frees himself. Creates a little bit of space to lay it up and in. 11 points now for Trent Moore, and now a steal. Matt Wooters quickly ahead, doesn't get any form of resistance from Corey Sadler. Sadler didn't want to pick up his third. And just like that, 4 quick ones for Dakota, lead back up to 8. Sadler and the Technicians. Desperate need of offense, now you're gonna get a tie up. Cougar defense has been awesome tonight. Bomarito and Barra taking the places of Mike Wooters and Braden Lee.
Number 2, Matthew Collins.
Largest lead of the night for Dakota has been 10. Stripped. 3-on-1 now for the Technicians, will lead to an easy lay-in for Corey Sadler. Cougars doing themselves no favors there. Don't have to play perfect basketball, but you certainly can't afford 2 straight turnovers. Technicians go around the perimeter looking for something available to them. 4 out right now. Into the corner for Miller, look out. His third 3-pointer of the game. Gives him 15. Pulls the Technicians within 3. Matt Wooters. And we're gonna get a timeout called by the Cougars. Head coach Stephen Hall of the Technicians wanted a travel call. It's a 30-second timeout called by Coach Toko to preserve that possession. And it'll turn into a full timeout. So looking ahead, we already talked about the Dakota upcoming schedule. Let's take a look at Cass Tech's upcoming schedule. They will take on Detroit Renaissance at home on Friday. On Saturday, they will have a game at Ferndale High School. A little tournament play against Davison. And the following weekend, they will take on Zeeland West, all the way over at East Kentwood High School on the west side of the state over by Grand Rapids. So this is going to be a very busy Technician team the next couple weeks, as they will be battle tested and perhaps even travel weary. So everybody wants to play the state champions. All of a sudden, Cass Tech has really amped up the intensity on the defensive end of things. Barra tried to drive baseline, stolen. Collins. Contact made, blocking foul, and Matt Wooters. Kind of one of those 50-50 calls. And the official's going to say Matt Wooters wasn't set in time. They'll say the foul was on the floor. So it wasn't a shooting foul. So a little bit of a break there, perhaps, for Dakota. 5:17 left to go now in regulation. 42-39. Cougars in front by 3. Sadler, skip pass inside. A foul call.
Fouls on number 23, Jason Barr, that's his third.
Lee Harris has been the threat inside for the Technicians seemingly all evening long. He has 7 points from that post position. 5 of 6 at the line. I think it's 6 of 7. Straight up and down on that free throw stroke. hit the second to fall. And last touch by Corey Sadler. Cougar basketball. They are now clinging to a 2-point lead. Lead was up to 10 at one point. Kind of been stuck on 4 points in this fourth quarter. Trent Morin bucket and a Matt Wooters make has been it offensively for Dakota. And picking up the dribble and tossing the ball out of bounds, Matt Wooters. A little bit of miscommunication there. Sort of passing to a spot rather than a player. Miller. Sadler hangs but can't hit. It's Matt Wooters that skies to come down with it. Bomarito, good extra pass. Back to the outside. Mike Wooters straightaway three, no good. Miller, pull up 15-footers pure. 17 now for Derek Miller. Technicians nearly come away with a steal and instead will foul Mike Wooters. And he kind of got bent up awkwardly. Hope he's okay. Edens and Mike Wooters coming together. Wooters' knees kind of bent up underneath him. 42-42, 4:12 left to go. Just the first team foul here in the fourth quarter for Cass Tech. Tovin Williams stripped, and they're going to say last touch by Williams. It went off his body and out of bounds. Things starting to unravel here for the Cougars. Catching at the free throw line. And pouring it in, Corey Sadler. 11 points for that young man. Cass Tech has claimed the lead. Into the corner, Bomarito to reclaim the lead. Bingo! 45-44, Sadler, back and forth we go. Little jab, jab, punch, counter punch, haymaker, uppercut. Two heavyweight teams, Dakota and Cass Tech, in the center of the squared circle. Who's gonna flinch? Who's gonna blink first? And we'll get a foul on the floor. 2:59 left to go in regulation. Thomas into the backcourt. Matt Wooters accepts it there. Draws the double team, passes out of it. Thomas, Bomarito for back-to-back threes! His fourth triple of the ball game. 14 points in total. Dakota bench on their feet. Miller, short, offensive rebound, step through, no good. Thomas out in transition, Bomarito with the lay-in. An 8-0 run by Matthew Bomarito. Lead back up to 6. Miller looking for the backbreaker, and he does just that. Boy, oh boy, was that a big bucket. Oh, Cass Tech needed it and got it.
Technician calling full timeout.
2:10 left to go. Cass Tech will use one of its final 3 timeouts. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams have 2 fouls. Lead is 3. Cougars 50, Cass Tech 47. 2:10 left to go in the 4th. Dakota dropped their first 2 ball games of the season, then went on a nice little 5-game winning streak. We saw them in their 56-52 win over rivals Chippewa Valley. As we get another look at that last Bommarito bucket. But as I mentioned, they've kind of run into some tough sledding as of late. They took on Ann Arbor Pioneer in a holiday tournament, dropped that game by 14 points, then went on the road to restart Mac Red play and dropped a 46-41 contest to the Roseville Panthers. So 2-1 in the Mac Red. Game back. 2 Mac Red contests this week against Grosse Pointe South and L'Anse Creuse North. This Dakota squad is going to know where they stand after this week. That's to say the least. 3 really tough ball games coming up this week. Wooters misses short. And the Cass Tech faithful wanted to reach in foul call. Miller swoops through the lane and leaves it short. Gets his own rebound. Passes out of it. They kick it around the perimeter. Howell into the corner for Miller. Back up top to Sadler. Sadler jab steps it. Now over to Howell once again. Into the corner for Miller. 3 to tie. Short. Trent Morin passes out of it. Now the turnover comes. Lay-in attempts blown. And now a tie-up possession arrow to Cass Tech. 84 seconds left to go in the 4th. This thing has all of a sudden got on a razor's edge. Every possession from here on out is going to matter big time. Jalen Howell checks out. Stevie Hall checks in. There's the steal. Here comes the lane attempt by Howell. And then here comes the tie-up. Bommarito contested the shot, but Lee Harris was able to finish at the rim. Full court pressure. Tobin Williams turns it over. Stevie Hall lays it up, can't lay it in. Tapped around. Somebody needs to control it. And it's Thomas that comes down with it. And they're going to give Dakota a timeout. It happened right in front of the Cass Tech bench. Cass Tech is going to argue that Thomas walked with it. As he went down to the floor, he slid. Somehow, through all that, they are going to award Dakota with the timeout. 59 seconds remaining. 50-49 our score. This is what it's all about, crunch time. Everything we could have hoped for and more tonight. When you take a look at the schedule and you see that Cass Tech name, you know you're going to be in store for one heck of a game, no matter what sport it is. Perennial powers, the state of Michigan in football. And they've really made a name for themselves now in basketball. As I mentioned, defending state champions 28-1 a season ago. Cougars with 1 timeout remaining. Cass Tech still has 2. Plenty of fouls to give for both teams, as they are just saddled right now with 2 fouls each. Gotta get the ball in. That's the first goal. We got a 5-second violation. Oh no. You had to get the inbound pass in, and Thomas failed to do it and gets hit with the 5-second violation. No shot clock. Really alters the strategy in Michigan high school basketball, and Sadler just drives hard into the lane and gets fouled.
Foul to number 5, Matthew Bomarito. That's his second, team third.
Bomarito second, team third.
Corey Sadler.
Sadler knocks down the first. Get another look here, and this is just Sadler being aggressive. Spins his way through the lane. Bomarito went for the strip. Sadler might have sold it just a bit, but he gets the call. Knocks down both, gives the technicians the 1-point lead, 51-50. Turnovers are going to be the culprit here tonight if the Cougars aren't able to win this basketball game. Thomas over to Morin, and they're going to get Sadler for the reach in. One more foul to give for both teams. 42 seconds left. Williams will inbound. Coach Toko's going to bring in some size in the form of Jason Barra. So you got Barra, Bomarito, Tovin Williams, and Matt Wooters on the floor. Matt Wooters catches in the backcourt. Over to Williams. Bomarito asks for the basketball on the elbow. Extends all the way out to the perimeter to take it. Under 30 seconds remaining. Wooters catches near side. Wooters back to Bomarito, gets it right back. They swing it around the perimeter all the way to the far side. Bomarito got some separation as Sadler hit the deck. Wooters goes up and gets the foul call. Matt Wooters was sort of out of control. Took some steps towards the basket and gets the foul call. 11.6 seconds. An opportunity to tie and take the lead. First free throws of the evening. Doesn't hit the first. Get another look at this foul call. As that was Lee Harris on that last grab in. So Wooters now with an opportunity to tie, misses. Tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Trent Morin. So Matt Wooters had the opportunity to tie, or at least take the lead, or at least tie, and misses both free throws. And now 10.1 seconds. Get another full timeout called. Cougars still have one foul to give before being in the bonus. So one would think they will defend the inbound pass, try to come away with a steal, and then immediately foul. Give themselves 4 team fouls, and then do it all over again. 51-50 Cass Tech. Sadler with 6 points here in the fourth quarter. Derek Miller with 8. Has 20 total. Talked about him at the very top of tonight's broadcast, that Derek Miller was a go-to player for Cass Tech, and that has been the story once again here tonight. 4 triples in the game, including 3 in the second half. terrific job once again by our hardworking Chippewa Valley Cable Television crew. Joe Chapo, Jim Calderon in our live truck, Dominic Vitale and Matthew Custer working the cameras here tonight. I'm Brad Fetters coming to you from Dakota High School. Boys varsity basketball Cass Tech technicians on the road have a 51-50 lead over the Dakota Cougars. They're going to have to put some more time on the clock. Scoreboard currently reads 1 second. It should read 10.1. Really don't need this right now. A delay with the scoreboard. Some of us got places to be and people to see. Dakota's going to use this time to bring in Trent Morin. So everyone gathered around the score table right now trying to figure out how the scoreboard works, and there we go, 10.1. Some visible frustration setting in by the scorekeeper. So here we go. And they'll have Trent Morin defend the inbounder, who's going to be Lee Harris. Derek Miller in the front court. They'll bring Corey Sadler in. He receives the bounce pass. And there comes the foul. So that's the fourth team foul. 2.8 seconds come off the clock. So now this inbound pass will come in front of the Dakota bench. Dakota had a 10-point lead here in the second half of this ball game. Referee's going to step in. Some physical play between Corey Sadler and Matt Wooters. And it's Sadler once again, and there's a collision away from the basketball. Well, 1.1 seconds came off the clock. Jalen Howell went down to the floor. And a foul is going to be on Matt Wooters. It's going to be his third. And it'll send Jalen Howell to the line. Howell is yet to shoot free throws in this basketball game. Jalen Howell does not have any points in this basketball game. Jason Barra is going to be checked into this game. Reminder, no more 1-and-1s. It's 2 free throws the rest of the way for both teams. 6.7 seconds. Howell an opportunity at the line to extend this Cass Tech lead. Howell's first is good. Both teams with 1 timeout left. Howell misses the second. Cougars will take a timeout to draw something up with 4.4 remaining. 52-50. So that'll be the final timeout for Dakota. It'll be a full 60-second timeout. So we'll see what the Cougars elect to do here down 2. They go for the win on a 3-point shot or play for overtime. Have to imagine Bon Marito will try to work his way around his screen. Trent Morin perhaps down low. Morin, your inside threat if you play for the tie. Bon Marito will try to get up a 3 to perhaps win it. The Cougars are on the floor. It'll be Mike Wooters to trigger. And put 7 seconds now up on the big board. They had 4.4 up on the big board, so I don't know how Dakota was awarded 2.6 seconds. Coach Stephen Hall getting some explanation from their head referee. Oh, come on, guys. And now they will change it back. They're going to change it to 5.7, which still isn't right. As I guess they'll split the difference. Plenty of time, 5.7. Just got to get the pass in, and they do. Mike Wooters left wide open, he missed it! Ball comes out, the buzzer will sound. It was a clean look for Mike Wooters. They ISO'd him, he drove in, the lane parted, he laid it up, it hung on the rim seemingly forever, and just refused to fall. The Cass Tech technicians come in and steal one on the road, taking this one by the final score of 52-50. Dakota blows a double-digit second half lead and falls by the final score of 52-50. Cass Tech remains perfect at 8-0. Dakota falls to 5-5. The rest of my hard-working Chippewa Valley cable television crews, we get another look at the game-winning attempt by Wooters. I'm Brad Fetters saying so long one final time from Dakota High School. Once again, your final score, the Cass Tech Technicians 52, the Dakota Cougars 50.